U.S. President Donald Trump may have won just about every battle against Iran, but 3 months after attacking the Islamic Republic, he now faces a bigger question. Is he losing the war? With Iran's grip on the Strait of Hormuz, its resistance to nuclear concessions, and its theocratic government largely intact, doubts are growing that Trump can translate the U.S. military's tactical successes into an outcome he can frame convincingly as a geopolitical win. His repeated claims of complete victory ring hollow, some analysts say, as the two sides teeter between uncertain diplomacy and his on-again, off-again threats to resume strikes, which would be sure to draw Iranian retaliation across the region. Trump is now at risk of seeing the U.S. and its Gulf Arab allies emerge from the conflict worse off, while Iran, though battered militarily and economically, could end up with greater leverage, having shown it can throttle 1/5 of the world's oil and gas supplies. The crisis is not yet over, and some experts leave open the possibility, Good Morning America to 25 May 2026. 3 months in, is Trump losing the Iran war? Trump might still find a face-saving way out if negotiations break in his favor, but others predict a grim post-war outlook for Trump. We're 3 months in, and it's looking like a war that was designed to be a short-term romp for Trump is turning into a long-term strategic failure, said Aaron David Miller, a former Middle East negotiator for Republican and Democratic administrations. For Trump, that matters, especially given his famous sensitivity to being perceived as a loser, an insult he has often lobbed at opponents. In the Iran crisis, he finds himself commander-in-chief of the world's mightiest military, pitted against a second-tier power seemingly convinced it has the upper hand. And this predicament could make Trump, who is yet to define a clear endgame, more likely to resist any compromise that looks like a retreat from his maximalist positions or a repetition of the 2015 Obama-era nuclear deal with Iran that he scrapped in his first term, analysts say. White House spokeswoman Olivia Wales said the U.S. has met or surpassed all of our military objectives in Operation Epic Fury. President Trump holds all the cards and wisely keeps all options on the table, she added. Pressure and frustration. Trump campaigned for a second term promising no unnecessary military interventions, but has brought the U.S. into an entanglement that could do lasting damage to his foreign policy record and credibility abroad. The continuing standoff comes as he faces domestic pressure over high U.S. gasoline prices and low approval ratings after he embarked on the unpopular war ahead of November's midterm elections. His Republican Party is struggling to maintain control of Congress. As a result, more than 6 weeks into a ceasefire, some analysts believe Trump faces a stark choice: to accept a potentially flawed deal as an off-ramp or escalate militarily and risk an even longer crisis. Among his options if diplomacy collapses, they say, would be to launch a round of sharp but limited strikes, frame it as a final victory, and move on. Another possibility, analysts say, is that Trump could attempt to shift focus to Cuba, as he has suggested, in hopes of changing the subject and trying to score a potentially easier win. If so, he might end up misjudging the challenges posed by Havana, much as some Trump aides privately acknowledged that he mistakenly thought the Iran operation would resemble the January 3 raid that captured Venezuela's president and led to his replacement.